What's up, guys? Welcome to Livingston Unfiltered. Today we're covering 303 West Grand River, the development at Grand River and Court Street, the development at Grand River and Barnard that's getting a bunch of traction, the protest at US 23, and then the Howell Township board drama. What's going on in downtown Howell, 303 East Grand River and Court? What do you got on that, Jake?
Let's see. So it looks like here's the rendering of the building. It's a Brownfield redevelopment, which is pretty interesting. And we actually have this white building right here up for sale.
Yeah, we've got a 7-unit there for $650.
Mm-hmm.
So, same family's owned it for a long, long time. They're liquidating some of their assets, and this one can go. We need more parking in the city of Howell.
Yeah, or if they wanted to go from Grand River to Sibley all the way along Court.
Right.
They could do that too.
Yeah, they sure could. What is Brownfield?
It's kind of interesting. We sat through the meeting, and the way that they... engineers described it was that there's some it's basically an old contaminated site, and it can be used the way it is right now, but if it was ever redeveloped, they I guess dig down and put in a vapor barrier with a pipe that runs through the center of the building that exhausts that and flows the air out from underneath, so those toxins aren't coming up through the floor and into the building.
Yeah, much like a radon reduction system in a house, it does an air exchange. Mm-hmm. And with that air exchange, it keeps the inside air healthy.
Yeah.
So why does this development even matter?
It'll be pretty cool. I think I always like, obviously we grew up in the country and things like that.
Right.
But for the people that like to live within the city, it gives some viable options of living upstairs in that development. You get mom and pop shops that are now able to lease commercial space on the main level. And I think we've kind of been missing some business. You got like the Heart of Michigan, the winery on the other side, some things in the center, but
the old Mr. B's, karates.
Yeah.
What else is there?
On that side, you kind of, before you get to the movie theater and things like that, or even on that side, it's feels like it's kind of missing some business. So
yeah, it's right there by Marco's Pizza. Now the next block down is the old Clark gas station.
Yeah, I used to go there after school, and we'd walk uptown and buy candy and gum and things.
Yeah, one of the ladies was talking about on the Facebook post that her mom would send her there with a note to pick up cigarettes. I thought that was pretty interesting. So this is 2 main blocks in downtown Howell that are going to get redeveloped, which is pretty amazing. Two probably are the most expensive blocks, which are going to get redeveloped. And what happened with that? We went to the City of Howell meeting. I know I interviewed a guy.
Yeah. So I guess it was purchased by a couple of brothers. This is the story that we got from one of the brothers directly at a meeting. And they own their own gas stations and even gas distribution company. So they truck all their own gas. And they were under the impression that the use was grandfathered, and they were going to try and reopen the gas station, make some improvements and reopen it. And I don't think the city was very much for that.
No, they had it all set. Apparently they had all the tests through Eagle and all the different environmentals. They had painted it all up, had it good to go. They were going to bring in cheaper gas to Howell. And the city said no. In fact, Jake and I were at the meeting where they passed a resolution to file suit against the owners. And this is the old crew, guys. This isn't the current crew who's sitting in there. So once that resolution was passed, it's been about a year. I shot a YouTube video interviewing the guy. He was making his plea to get open, and we hadn't heard anything. So I started digging. I did a Facebook post, put it out there, and then all of a sudden everybody was commenting on what might be coming in. But then we got, just knowing as many people as we do, somebody reached out to me privately, told me what was going in, and it's really going to be cool.
Yeah. This is the post. We had gone to take these pictures, and you can kind of see the way it sits now. And part of the city's issue was that they wanted it tore down because it kind of didn't look the greatest.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people were thinking the same thing, but when we had spoke to the owners, they were ready to push forward with remaking it a gas station.
They bought it, paid for it, and we're ready to start making some income.
So you can see we about 5,000 people saw the post, and
yeah, just in our group. On my personal Facebook page, it was over like 45,000.
Right. Yeah, I'm just in our group right now, and you can see some of the. So here's some of the newest comments. Even up to 4 hours ago, people were commenting, but Buc-ee's, Trader Joe, a meat market, Captain Frosty, Red Lobster, another car wash, because we need more car washes.
We do, and we could have a mini Panda Express.
Yeah.
So I got to come clean with you guys. It is Buc-ee's that's going in.
Yeah. They want to compete with the Quick Trip.
What's the coffee place? You probably didn't pull that up. What's the coffee place that we were talking about? Maybe you could pull that up and hit the main screen again. Somebody had suggested a 7 Brew, and Jacob pulled that up now because I had never heard of 7 Brew, and what a cool idea that could be for bringing a franchise into town.
Yeah, here's the 7 Brew website. I guess they have one in Lansing and one in Detroit. And it's pretty cool. It's like different kinds of drinks and coffees. And from my understanding, it was kind of like a Sonic.
Oh, but for coffee.
Yeah, like you pull up and they come out to your car. I'm not sure if like everyone is the same, but there's a lot of like outside use. I guess you can see in this picture here, like they even have a cooler outside, and the inside's very small.
That's sweet.
So
there you go, guys. If you're looking for a franchise opportunity in Howell, Michigan, or the surrounding area, maybe a 7 Brew is the way to go.
Yeah, they have all kinds of stuff.
Well, that's cool. These freaking protests, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, we were out showing houses, and actually, I don't know if you saw a post or got a text from someone local saying they were out on the Spencer Road Bridge.
They're on 23. They got a sign hanging. Man, when I was younger, I mean, there was a protest in town, but not like anything that we're getting today.
Yeah.
People trying to influence your opinions and trying to get clicks and likes and social media. It's just ridiculous.
I remember being younger and seeing like 4 or 5 people maybe once out, and it was like a pro-life, pro-choice thing downtown.
Yeah.
And that was the only time I ever saw anything, and I was probably like elementary school age.
Yeah.
But in the
think,
last couple of years, it's really ramped up.
Oh, it's just nuts. You used to come downtown, go to the farmer's market, go to restaurants, and didn't fear being launched into a big crowd of people. Do you think, Jake, that it's fixing anything?
No, not really.
I don't think so either.
It's a lot of the things that there's been a couple protests, but it always, there was like, oh, we're going to come protest It's usually like this one group, Sage, that will talk about and show you.
Segi. I thought it was Seggies.
Yeah. And then there would be like the opposing side, I guess, and some people say they're Nazis or whatever, and then they kind of have like a heated exchange in the street, which kind of ruins it for everybody.
Yeah, it sure does. They talk. I don't even know how deep I want to get into it because I don't want to give them any credibility. But it's kind of a nutso. Jake's going to pull up that video. We can watch the video, and all 13 people out on the street with their signs, putting not only passerbys in danger, but putting themselves in danger. It just doesn't seem like that's the tactic any reasonable person would take to make change. I know when we go to make change, we go serve at Habitat, right? We'll go within the church, or what are some other things that we do to help the community to actually make an impact?
Yeah, mission trips, going to build a ramp, going to raise funds for, a house being built for someone who can't afford housing at the moment.
Like you had mentioned, it's a hand up, not a handout. Yeah. But we're productive in our activities, and it gives a direct impact to the people who we're trying to help. We're not just trying to influence people's minds to see things our way.
Right. Yeah. It's you can go stand on the side of the road and say, stop killing people, but I think everybody already agrees with that. It's, what are you really doing?
Yeah. You got that video? Let's check it out.
Yeah.
On the bridge today, Spencer Road overpass in Brighton, here to protest the unjust war in Iran. Everywhere, even here in Livingston County. I think that we don't get to practice our First Amendment right. Well, we deserve to. We deserve to speak out. We deserve to talk about these abuses of power publicly without fear of intimidation or retaliation. So, the wasting of our health care, housing, school, community betterment money on these broken promises of peace and unwanted aggression abroad. We want to see the world that we live in benefit us and not the pedophile, warmongering 1%. That's why we're out here on the bridge today. We have our No War in Iran banner drop. But, we're just touching on the fact that we are going to keep each other safe in these situations when we've had threats of violence against us for having these views. We have been told that we don't belong in this community. We're told that we're not from here. We're in the wrong town. And we say that we deserve to speak out, even if we are the minority, and not have fear about that. So we're going to go down and talk to some folks about why it is that they decided to come out. Let me see. Here you go. I'll give you this.
It's kind of uneventful. The video is not that great of quality. But what I don't understand is, do you think a single person who drives by could stop the war in Iran?
No, I don't think so. I don't agree with the stance. First of all, if you have a bully at school who keeps picking on you every day, it's not going to end until you punch him in the nose and draw some blood. Mm-hmm. But then secondly, 13 people standing out on the side of US 23 with some signs, I don't think is going to bring any resolution to a conflict that big.
Sure.
And I get what they're trying to do. You're trying to start you're trying to get the word to go viral and have everybody, join you and have this big cause, but it just isn't.
Yeah. And there's depictions of big protests, and that brings to mind like Forrest Gump. And they're, I believe, in Washington, D.C., and there's a bunch of them that go sit out, and that was the war in Vietnam,
right?
And it's before our time, but in Howell,
yeah. Well,
you know what I mean? Like, whose attention are you trying to get? And if we look at that Facebook video, there's 13 likes and 4 comments. So it's not even gathering like a social media traction. It's not, the people who make these decisions have no idea that these people are doing that. So what purpose is it really serving?
I think in part it's self-serving, that whoever is doing the vocals on it is saying, oh, we don't belong in this town. It's not that you don't belong in this town. It's that this town has a certain rhythm to it. And within that, most of the time you're going to find that it's very calm, organized, small town, happy to be here, wave at your neighbor, help somebody change a tire on the side of the road type of people. And, I guess if you feel that you're not welcomed here, it's probably because you're not going with those small town values.
Yeah.
So,
and I think I can pull up some pictures they had posted, which is kind of funny. Here's some pictures that we had found from their Facebook.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Honk for no war. No more pedophiles. War crimes. I can't even see what that one says. Don't hide sex crimes. Flip us off if you support pedophile. It's just goofy, and then they were blacking out people's faces that are there with
Hey, there's something I can agree with.
chest rigs and ARs and
Apparently,
sidearm.
we both believe in the Second Amendment, so we'd probably get along on that point.
yeah. Just very interesting.
Yeah, most of the time it's victims. It's a victim mentality that, like I said, somebody's got to get the clicks and likes to draw the attention, and they figure this is the way to go. Eat the rich. Okay. It is just goofy. If you don't feel welcome to small town values, maybe it's because you're not carrying those values. I don't personally want to drive by with my grandkids, your children, Caleb's children, Ariana's children, and have to look at these nasty signs and nasty people.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. There's even like groups that we've seen around on the internet, or I know there's local Howell groups even that go and like bait and catch pedophiles.
Yeah.
Like, even that's doing more than standing on the street with a sign.
No doubt. I have friends who are on Facebook who are, they ghost and they go after these people and then they record them.
Right.
Maybe you got some dude who's talking to a 14-year-old girl and they're supposed to meet her at Walmart in Howell, and they roll up with their cameras and record them, give them to the police. I mean, they're actually having an impact. They're doing something.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even if it's on a small scale, like 1 or 2, like
Right.
turning them into the police, things like that. But yeah, I don't know. It's,
I'd rather the small scale. It makes an impact. It's
Yeah.
creating something. This is
no, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. It's just like, it's not like, they're doing this whole bus, but like what they're doing is almost, it has like I hate the word like vibe or energy, but it has like their tone and their signs is like they're trying to do something malicious or maybe even just to like be kind of out there so they gather attention for themselves.
absolutely. Yeah, it's self-serving.
It's kind of like the kid who acts out in class,
Right. There's another reason why.
Yeah.
Like I said, victim mentality. First of all, that kid in class probably had issues at home, and so
Right.
he's acting out at school to be cool, and ends up always going to the principal's office, just getting in trouble.
Yeah. and they talk about like, oh, there's these things going on that are bad for our families. Like, you could be working to make more money or taking your kids out, even if you don't have money, like go to a park, like take them to do things, and making it, a better
difference,
like a better time for your family, and like, what are your kids doing while you're standing out on the side of an expressway with dudes with guns waving a sign?
Are you taking care of your parents?
Right.
Did you go over and make them breakfast this morning and have a conversation?
Yeah.
Because those are real things.
Right.
All right. Well, that's enough on the goofy protesters.
Yeah.
I mean, Saggies.
Kind of like the same tone moving into like, obviously we own a couple properties in Howell Township and we watch a lot of townships, but for a while there's kind of been conflicts going on in Howell Township.
Howell Township too. We go to the meetings. We pull up the recorded meeting if we aren't able to get there and watch it. Oftentimes we're checking out the agendas and the agenda items so that we can stay abreast of everything that's going on. And Howell Township had some drama, didn't it?
Yeah. And there's a new supervisor.
Yeah, that's amazing. Old supervisor was good, but he got into all the data center issues, and it drug him down. And he said, apparently, I mean, I didn't get the exact reason why. It's none of my business. But he, what's it called? He quit from the job. He resigned.
Yeah.
He sent in a resignation letter, and then we had to find a new township supervisor. The new supervisor is a pretty amazing guy. Yeah. He works at the Drain Commission. He's been involved in Livingston County ever since he was born. And he served in multiple roles, I know, throughout the community, again, for the betterment. And he's very even-handed. He seems like the type of dude who could take all the information, boil it down, and make good decisions.
Yeah. And I think a lot of the issues coming from the township, and correct me if I'm wrong, kind of come down to not being able to sit down and have a conversation and find a resolution. And this new supervisor seems like he has the ability to do that and, make everybody happy, work with everybody.
Yeah, I don't think you'll ever make everybody happy, but the new supervisor definitely has the temperament to have those conversations. We've had so many lawsuits in Howell Township and so much money spent. And I think that's one of his things is how do we not just stick a flag in the ground and use Howell Township taxpayers' money to fight lawsuits. He's going to have some conversations and try to work things out so that it benefits the whole community and not just the loudest 10 people in the room.
Yeah. Yeah, there's been quite a few lawsuits that were some won, some lost. One of them was there's a property developer that wanted to put in a gun range.
Yep.
Focused on shooting silenced weapons on a large parcel of property.
Yep. There was another lawsuit, if I remember correctly, didn't get a whole lot of attention, but they wanted to put in a data center on like 1,000 acres.
Yeah, right.
So, that was another one that had come along, and that's not into a lawsuit yet. But there's a local attorney,
right,
who owns some property over off of Thule Road.
Yep.
And apparently he's just filed a lawsuit because he's being he doesn't feel that the board's acting appropriately within the zoning ordinance to give them use for zoning.
Yeah, and I kind of go back and forth on that. It sounds like same lawsuit from the gun range would be the same lawsuit for a data center. It's kind of, I don't know, I guess it's the township putting a flag in the ground saying, hey, we don't want these developments, or maybe they want a different kind of developments, but for me, it's hard because it's like, okay, you're protecting the people who live there, right? Like, would I want to live next to a gun range? I don't know. I mean, we shoot guns often, but also it's like you've purchased this property, you have rights, and I don't think anyone should be able to tell you what you can or can't do on your property. So where do you find that line in the middle?
So when you say it's the township pushing back, because there's 10,000 people in Hollow Township, do you think all 10,000 people are making that stand to say we don't want this and use our tax dollars to defend this lawsuit?
No, I don't think so. I think that there's select individuals, which I think we can get into on later podcasts or at later dates, that like the power and control, and they maybe, from my opinion, aren't from this area and come in and they say, hey, I moved out of the city, I don't want it to turn into that, and so we're going to keep it this certain way, and use their influence and things and, you know, make themselves look like the hero of like, hey, we're stopping this big development.
Yeah, politicians, you're saying.
Yeah. And, you know, if you sit down with people, it's maybe less than 20%.
Oh, it's probably less than 5%.
Right. Yeah, I was just being generous with the number. But,
yeah.
You know, the other people could care less what goes on. And you know,
well,
I'd go use a gun range down the street. We have property, we shoot on our property. But if there was a class being held there or like, you know, different things, I think that would be really cool. And I think a data center, personally, like the property is going to be developed no matter what. So you put in housing, it's packed. You put in, you know, fairgrounds, it's packed, it's loud. It's
commercial,
you know,
properties all the way along Grand River, oil change, restaurant.
Yeah. And I look at all those different things, how it affects the schools when more kids are going to school there. And like how I went to school, and at one point I went to Howell and there was tons of kids. They go to the Breslin Center to walk for graduation, and
right.
I went to private school and there was 5 kids in the class, or going to Fowlerville and my graduating class was 200.
Right. Yeah, and then there's the impact on emergency services, whether it's EMS or the police or
the people who take the calls.
Just your Wi-Fi. We finally just got Wi-Fi out into Cohocton Township, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you add all these houses and start having more people use it, and it draws it down. And that may sound self-genuine, you know, that I'm only thinking about me, but it's not about me. Most of the people that live in a rural area, even older people, don't have telephone lines anymore.
Yeah.
They may or may not get cell phone service. So if they've got to call 911, you know, it's that Wi-Fi is important to boost the signal so they can get help.
Yeah. I think that, you know, on the opposite side of that, development could bring more infrastructure that betters those things.
Yep.
Definitely, but
I haven't seen it so far. I mean, there's pluses and minuses, but I don't know that. And I've been in Livingston County since 71. I'm not sure that it's improved as much as there are more cars and people.
Yeah. And I like, you know, I guess my stance on it would be that township should never say no.
Right.
But it is okay to be yes with these stipulations.
Yeah.
To
Or
protect the people.
we're going to be fair and level and bring it in, and let's hear it. And let's hear what all the community members say.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And it's even if all the community members say no, then they need to get together and put the money together and buy the property and stop it themselves, you know. But I don't think everyone says, well, you know, we don't have the ability to do that. $50 million. Like, if you guys want to be farmers and keep it a farm, everybody put together a couple $100,000 and
Put your money on the table.
do it. But it should never be, no, you can't do this. It should be, well, okay, we'll allow it, but these are the stipulations we want. These are the guidelines. We need to make sure it's done properly so it doesn't affect these people.
Right.
Which I think in today's day and age, anything can be done.
Yeah.
With the, you know, protections. Like if it's a berm for a data center and trees and keep the noise decibels below this, or we shut it down, or you're only going to have construction from 10 to 4 so people can enjoy the quietness of their property. Like, those things can be put into place.
Right. Yeah, there can be protections that are put into place. I feel like we ran in the weeds a little bit because we were looking at the Howell Township drama
Yeah.
and watching that board that you've got on screen. I think we're to the lady who does the accounting. So they've got a data center committee in Howell Township, and there's members of the data center committee who don't even live in Howell Township. Do you think that is a legit way to run a committee for a data center?
No. I mean, whether it's living or even owning property there,
Yeah.
or within, like, you could be right on the border that where this data center was going to be. It's right on the border.
Yeah.
So it could affect people in Cohocton Township. It's less than a mile away.
Right. Fowlerville. I had lots of people reach out from Fowlerville that said, "Hey, this is going to impact me." I get it. Okay, cool. Glad to hear from you.
And I don't know where this lady's from, but that'd be like saying you're from way south of town in Marion Township. You got to drive 20 minutes to get to where the property of a data center is going to be.
Right.
And you want to try and make decisions and things like
Have
that.
influence.
Yeah.
Right.
It's that'd be like me being like, "Oh, I don't want this restaurant to be put in downtown Ann Arbor."
Right.
I'm 30 minutes away.
Well, let's get to this video. If you haven't ever sat in a township board meeting, I know you've sat in several with me, and it becomes unnerving to go up and talk, and it's like talking in front of a room full of people. So
Yeah.
go ahead and let it run. We've got some township. We've got the new supervisor there, and we've got the board members. So go ahead and watch and check it out if you've never seen one.
Thank you.
Hello. Good evening. I'm Angela Barbash, 4211 Crandall Road, and co-chair of the Howell Township Resident Research Committee for Data Centers. I've stood at this podium a number of times this past winter. Each time I've tried to bring something concrete. In December, I introduced revenue concentration risk, the same principle that tells a financial advisor to not put more than 5% of a retirement portfolio into a single stock. In January and February, I walked through technological obsolescence and the speed at which this industry is shifting. In March, I addressed enforcement, specifically why without real enforcement mechanisms an ordinance is just a suggestion. Tonight, I want to connect those threads to a number that's sitting right here in our own packet for tonight's meeting. Under the legal fee breakdown in tonight's financials, the township has spent $135,000 on the Howell Mason case, and that's just one case. It illustrates exactly what unclear, inadequate, or misaligned regulatory infrastructure can cost us. It's not a theory. It's not some cautionary tale from another county. It's right here in our own budget. The moratorium that was passed in November gives us the time to build something better. The resident research
I wonder if
committee
this
has
lady's
used
from
that
Howell
time.
Township.
We have developed concentration thresholds, performance
She's doing the
bonds,
accounting and the
council
costs.
structures, decommissioning requirements, reporting provisions, and a number of limitations around the environmental impacts, both on the earth and on our bodies of these data centers. The work is close to complete, but close is not done. I want to caution the board against adopting what exists so far and filling in the remaining gaps independently. The insights this process has generated about enforcement and risk, about what responsible development actually requires, need to be carried through the entire ordinance code, not just the data center provisions. That broader work is already underway, and it deserves the same rigor we've applied here. Cutting the process short risks losing exactly what made it valuable. This board voted 7-0 to pass that ordinance on November 20th.
Yeah, maybe you can
That
fast forward
unanimous
that a
vote
little bit.
sent a clear signal.
It's interesting that she comes in and talks about accounting and the earth and the harmful effects to our body, and blends it in with the dollars to the impact.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think it's kind of what we've been saying from the very beginning is that if if it is, hey, you can't do this here, they're gonna file a lawsuit, and what does that cost the people
It's
of
gonna
the
cost
township
a
to
ton.
defend? So
Yeah.
rather than putting all the efforts into, no, we don't want this here, it's, why don't we put the efforts into how do we protect ourselves? Because it's, something is going to happen. What, what protections do we in place? What do we have? What ordinances are we going to adopt to help ourselves in this? Because I think what it's boiled down to is no is not an option. When you go to fight a lawsuit against a big corporation,
Right.
you know how
With
much money they
billions
have.
of dollars, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not sure that ship hasn't flown. So it, again, from a township level, we're going backtracking rather than moving forward and having good thought and discussion with regard to what protections we want to have put in place.
Yeah.
So,
The next thing on the meeting is very interesting. There's been some stuff that's came up with.
we've got a war between two neighbors who live across the street from each other. Both have cameras, both have businesses, both have equipment.
Yeah.
And they're turning each other in. And then a township board member got involved.
I
Did
think
or
the
didn't.
whole, like a couple township board members have gotten involved. Obviously it's the ordinance officer
Right.
job to, when a complaint's received, to go out and do that thing. And I think that the neighbors were filing complaints on each other.
Yep.
And to preface this, we had one person filling two positions
Right.
at that time. And so that person was not only handling the ordinances, they were the enforcement to the ordinances.
Yes. So they were the police officer and the judge.
Right. And now it's been delegated to two different people.
Good move.
So now you have those two people involved. But then, it's, as the board, you members, they also are going to try and make the township nice as part of serving. And
Yep.
so now they've, from what this person says of, have also gotten involved and seen some things and filed some complaints. And
Right.
now this isn't the first meeting that we've seen that this person has came in and spoke.
I've seen both of these neighbors come in and just give both barrels to the board. You gets impassioned, it gets loud,
Yeah.
it gets emotional,
Yeah.
and it's worth looking at just to see what's going on. If you never sat at a township board meeting,
If you're
these are-
falling asleep at the beginning of the meeting, these dudes wake you up.
Yeah,
when
they do.
come in.
Go ahead and hit that video.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, I'm Ryan Cott from 222 Bain Drive. I want to introduce my wife, Emily Cott, and Lincoln Cott. You can go like this.
I have a question. These are recorded, correct?
Yeah, yes.
And it's kind of funny because the supervisor's new, so you can see when he goes up with his family, he kind of has like a smile on his face because he's happy. Like, oh, this is cool, like family's coming up to speak, but he has no idea what they're coming up to speak about.
Yeah, when they start
questioning
questioning the fact that a board member has a camera out and is recording, it's the right to record, especially in an Open Meetings Act or a place of government. You have the ability to whip out your phone and make that recording.
And he didn't just pull it out. I think it's been out for the whole meeting.
It is.
But this man, on Saturdays, anytime he's driving by my house and he's blatantly staring at us, and he does it all the time. And I know exactly why he's doing it, and it's because I just bought a new camper. It was 10 minutes after I was even at my home. When I just bought my new camper, it was pulled on the side of the road. I was backing it in. Now, you're not finding it a coincidence that this man, he has filed several complaints on my home. He doesn't even live by my house whatsoever. My home does not affect him at all. But he is affecting me greatly. He is affecting me hugely. My wife, our son is getting older. We want him to be able to play outside and not have to worry about someone watching our house that isn't supposed to be doing what they're doing. I don't know what to do about this because I just tried to confront him before I walked in here to see if I could get some type of comfortable. He had nothing nice to say to me. He's nothing but a rude individual when I try to talk to him. He's just nothing but a bully up here, and it's completely inappropriate. And it's to.
We can pause there. I think we kind of got the gist. It's
Yeah, it's interesting to watch just what you said. Everybody is smiling, and here comes this family, and then the verbiage starts to come out, and you can watch their faces just drop. Do you think it's appropriate for a board member who has heard of a complaint to drive by and investigate that complaint, or should they stay away from it altogether and not get involved?
I mean, you're there as a board member. I mean, you could take the stance of like, well, we hire someone to do this job and it's an enforcement officer. But I think at the end of the day, it's the board members who vote. And if you're the kind of person who said, well, I want to, go see it for myself and see what's going on before we make a decision, vote to do a fine or,
Take him to court.
Take this person to court. It would be smart to go look at it.
I think so too.
See what you're voting about. But it's also, I think it's a younger person and I was raised very differently. And I think that when you are creating conflict or whoever's creating the conflict, when it's between the two neighbors in the past, which I wish we had time to pull up those videos. There's a lot there and it's all recorded, but you can go check it out on the Howell Township YouTube page. When you've been in those conflicts over certain things, now you have eyes on you.
No question.
Now people are paying attention.
Right.
And if a complaint's submitted or something happens, what that was the way he feels. What about the other neighbor?
Right.
How does he feel that, he's probably happy that the township's going there and checking on it and making sure the enforcement's correct. And so there's two very different sides.
And generally, if complaint gets filed, it gets investigated. When they investigate, if they find that something's wrong, they'll make a corrective action and require the township resident to take that corrective action. And then that's the end of it. So when you have a neighbor complaint, against each other, oftentimes the township gets drawn into that fight, and they're spending the other 9,998 people's money to defend or enforce a complaint. That's not the way it works. So after the township's done its process, if the neighbors don't come to any type of resolution, then at that point you kick it out and say, okay, boys, time to take your neighbor to court. It doesn't involve the township.
Be a civil case.
It's a civil
between
issue.
You and your neighbor. And, there's a difference between those things,
Yep.
They tried to step in and do the right thing but they're not, there's only so much they can do.
Right. Yeah, same thing's happened all over the township. I know it's happened down Santa Rosa, and we'll dig into that deeper later.
Yeah.
Also, but
I think that's a whole podcast out on its own. With
I think it is.
some of the people who live down there and the things that have been going on.
Yeah, no question. So, do you think it's a leadership issue that this man's coming in, or is it a system issue that needs to get resolved?
Yeah, I mean, I think that in my opinion, personally, from the things that I've saw, I think that the old supervisor and the person who was doing the two jobs as the enforcer and the, zoning administrator job, I think they handled things incorrectly and have boiled it up to this point. And I would hope that the new people on the board, new staff, are able to get it ironed out.
Yeah, and sometimes ironing it out, like we said, it's just, hey, we have no involvement in this anymore. You guys need to go to court. Yeah,
we'll just have to see what the future holds, because that might be the spot that they're at, honestly.
Yep.
It's, you can come in and complain that someone's driven by your house or is driving by your house. I mean, it's a public street. People are going to drive by your house.
That's the way it works, yeah.
And you put that attention on you and by things in the past, and I think that it continues to put attention on you when you go in the meeting and do something like that. It fuels the fire, and it's kind of what you're asking for.
That's exactly right. So, interesting. Township drama, very cool stuff. Mm-hmm. You want to flip over to our page and look at some of the comments?
Yeah. Bob Witt posting there a lot. He posts some cool stuff.
He's posting some really neat stuff. There's information about the Howell Balloon Fest, and he is handy with the camera because he has taken some pictures over the last decades that are just amazing. And Bob, we appreciate you doing those posts in the group. Tends to get a lot of traction and a lot of people commenting.
Yeah, this was the flag raising on the courthouse lawn in Howell in 1987, and he posted this 5 hours ago, and he asked if you noticed any of the different businesses in the background, and even some of these cars. It's cool to see.
Yeah.
I was not alive in 1987.
Oh, well, I was. Just barely, but I was.
First National Bank, now the Bank of Ann Arbor. Yep. I don't know what that is. The old Howell something.
DNC Dime Store.
It doesn't say. It starts with an H. There's a light post in the way.
Where? I can't see.
To the left of First National.
Huh.
Studio 106.
That was a hair place. I had my hair done there before.
There we go. There's some different.
Can you zoom in on that?
Yeah.
Adams Family Hair Center. And I think they had clothes there too. Yeah, they had a boutique shop. And then Outdoor Sportsman. See that to the right?
Yep. Guns and archery. They need to bring that back.
Let's go, boys.
Shoe store.
Yep.
But pretty neat. Uptown Party Store.
Uptown Party Store.
You can kind of see where that development's going right back here.
Yeah.
This is now Marco's Pizza, I believe.
Nope. So where you had your cursor is where that development's going. That's the old Johnny Howell gas station.
Yep.
Down. The white building.
Okay.
Between the two veterans.
Yeah, just some really cool stuff.
Yeah. Thanks, Bob. Appreciate that.
Vince's Golden House. Love to see that.
Dude, did you see that? Vince is doing a free catering to a grad party. And on his page, what's the name of his page there?
Vince Golden House.
Vince Golden House. Look him up on Facebook, and you can comment on his page, and some lucky person is going to get the whole graduation party catered from the Golden House here in Howell.
I'd almost go back to school just
Dude, I put Delaney down, so hopefully we win, and Auntie Kel will give me an attaboy. Look at that.
Sunny Sips.
Sunny Sips. Look at that burger, dude. If that doesn't bring drool to your mouth, I'll tell you what. Burger and fries.
Blue Barn Boarding.
Yeah, I always post them because I enjoy seeing the horses.
This is Christopher Candela, who's running for Livingston County Circuit Court Judge.
Yeah, I think we're going to get him on the podcast. We had an opportunity to talk to him a little bit, and maybe we can get him on here and get some of his views.
Yeah. How cool is this? the sheriff, Mike Murphy,
Yeah, that is pretty
took
cool.
some kids to breakfast and dropped them off at school.
Yep.
But yeah, a lot of stuff going on. American Legion stuff.
Oh,
Few-
they're having the American Legion tonight is having it's a silent auction, I believe. So definitely go to their page and check that stuff out. Pappy's Tacos.
Yeah, this is a new one. New
We're-
restaurant.
We're gonna have to try that. We dig the Mexican when we're out and about, right?
Yeah. So yeah, if you're not a part of the page, I would definitely recommend checking it out. Bunch of really good stuff in and around Livingston County.
Yep. So we're just getting our feet underneath us, guys, for the podcast. We hope you enjoy it. Again, we went over the developments in downtown with the main corners, very expensive main corners that are getting sold and redeveloped. We covered some protests. We did the Township drama. And, the local rumors of what's going to go in on the Clark station. If you haven't commented on that before, comment in the post here. We're going to invite some guests, and we're going to get some old-time people that you may not even know, but have grown up or been around Hull. We'll get some politicians. Who else are we thinking?
Yeah, all kinds of stuff. Restaurant owners, just really a whole mix of everything. Just the ins and outs of Livingston County and cool things that
And it's
people wanna know
unfiltered.
about.
If you want to come on the show, shoot us a message, text, email, send a helicopter.
Yeah,
We'll probably talk about some different developments that are going on around Livingston County. And remember, guys, it's unfiltered, so nobody's protected from the microphone.
well, we love you guys. Stay blessed, and if you would, please like, comment, subscribe.
And share the post.
Yeah. And we'll catch you next time on episode 2.
So prayers to everybody that we've talked about who's having a struggle going on in their life. You stay blessed. We love you. This is Livingston Unfiltered signing off.